Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and we're back on with the old ZX81 project. Now, I haven't done anything on this for a little while I've been working on that record player, and the main reason being I've been waiting for these things to turn up. Some pin header that I ordered, and it seems to have taken longer than usual to arrive from China. But the reason I needed that was, if you noticed in the last video I had this thing powered up, it was being a little bit intermittent in actually booting up with the new RAM expansion fitted. And I think what the main problem was it was the contact between the board and these pins here. Because basically what I had is I had a chopped up IC socket in there, because I didn't have an IC socket the correct size when I actually did this initially. I chopped up a socket to fit, and I don't think it was, well, here's a bit of it. I just don't think it was making very good contact, so I replaced it with two nice pieces of inline pin header there. So hopefully this board now, which I've got tangled up, sorry, come on, get out. So hopefully this board now will plug on there nicely and make a decent connection. It certainly feels a better connection just pushing it on like that. Then obviously our address lines connect up straight onto the CPU like that. Let me get them on. That one. Oops. That one. And that one. That's all back as it was before, so hopefully that will be a little bit more reliable. Certainly feels a better fit in there. The other thing I've been doing on this is I'm working on the power, the 5 volts power into it at the moment. And can you see, if you can see this here, I've utilised that little connector. I don't know if you can see this in the back there. I've utilised them spare 3 pads that were basically what they were on the US version of this. They would have been the channel switch. But what you had there usefully was you had a ground point, you had a point for 5 volts, and you had a centre pin which just went. It was basically one trace that went up close here to near the modulator. So what I've done is I've replaced it with a little connector there, a little board connector, and I've put my 5 volts in and my ground. And what I've done is I've come out of the modulator there, so basically the composite video out of the modulator there, I've brought out there and into that trace and brought it out on this wire here. So it means that basically I've just got that connection there, and I can unplug that, and it disconnects both the video and the power from the board. And obviously then we've just got our what will be our audio in and out there, which I'll probably just still use standard jack connectors for that. But I thought that was a really neat, elegant solution for the connection onto the board there. And then on the back, basically, I'm just on the process of working on this at the moment. We've got a new 7805 mounted on a nice little heatsink, and that's just ripped off an old, I think it was a scrap graphics card or a scrap motherboard. It was out of my junk box. But we've got a nice little heatsink there, so we've got our 12 volts in. And 12 volts is fine to go into a 7805. Yes, it'll run slightly warmer, but it's got plenty of heat seeking on here, and we're going to have a fan in the case over, basically above it here, sucking air over it, so these will be nicely cooled. But anyway, we've got our 7805 voltage regulator there. I just need to connect the ground up to it there, and then the 5 volts out of it needs to go up to the switch there. I've already connected the output from the switch back to the little Molex connector there. But yeah, it's coming on quite nicely. I will get this power, all this power finished first, so we can switch the monitor and the computer on independently there with them two switches. And then I am going to look at changing the ROM. Like I said, once I've got all the power side of it finished, the next thing I'm going to look at is the ROM here, and replace that with a switchable ROM, which will give us our ZX81 basic, and it'll give us our fourth operating system to play with. So yeah, and then I've got like I said, some video work. I need to make all this wiring neat and tidy for the video, and like I said, I think I'm going to have one of the switches which will invert video, because I made that little video inversion circuit. I'm thinking about possibly making that circuit up on a actually etching a board and making it neater than on a piece of tag strip. Sorry, on a piece of matrix board. I don't know yet. The matrix board version works nicely enough. I'm just umming and ahhing whether I actually go to the trouble of etching a little PCB for it, and then I can mount that somewhere in the case in here. Yeah, I think I might do that. I'll either do it on matrix board, because I mean, I've done that on strip board. I've done that on matrix board. Yeah, I might do it on. I might keep it on matrix board. But anyway, that's going to be mounted in here somewhere. I might even be able to get it. I did it on a long, thin piece. I might be able to get it down there. Perhaps like mount it down there. I have to keep this space here clear for the keyboard interface. But the video inverter I might mount down there somewhere. I'll think about that as time goes on, as I get this wiring finished. But I do want to keep this really, really neat and tidy, hence why I've got the cable ties through. So all this can be loomed and zip tied nice, neat and tidy when it's finished. But yeah, I may think about there as the place for the video inverter board. And then that'll just switch through the other one of these switches. The other switch is going to be for the ROM switcher. Anyway, I thought I would just do a really quick little update on this, and I do mean it is a really quick little update. Just say I've not forgotten about the project. I am still working on it, especially now. Like I said, these have took a little bit while to arrive, but they're at the right price, so I'm not worried. They are dirt cheap. I get like 10 of them for £1 from China, rather than like £1 odd each over here. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. Like I say, it was just a really quick little update on this ZX81 project. So hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.